What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Clown Questions, the show where there are no dumb questions. I'm your host, Matt K. Maurer, and the question on my mind today is, was that KD burner real? I don't know. We'll attempt to speculate on that in addition to some other stuff. We'll talk a little NFL, a little NBA, because having a great guest on today, especially to talk NBA. Lil Bro Jona, he's pulling up to the podcast again. That's right, I Lil Bro'd him, but should be a fun one today. So who's down to clown?
That's a clown question, bro.
All right, now pulling up to the pod is a reoccurring guest, Lil Bro, Jona Maurer. Jona, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I would also just like to point out to all the listeners out there that I am taller than him by a few inches.
Okay, so I guess medium bro, Jona. I don't know. I'm the middle bro, but okay. I don't know why we had to bring the height into it. But yeah, we're recording this podcast on Riverside again. We are definitely not in the same place, so hopefully we don't hear any echo. We're definitely not in separate rooms of the same place, so we shouldn't hear any echo because we're not in the same place, like I said. But yeah, let's get going. Talk some sports. Start off. Have you been watching the Olympics? That's my only Olympic question.
I've been watching a little bit. Like I'll turn on the Gold Zone, or if there's like a hockey or like ski jump or slope event, I'll watch that. I can't get myself too much into the like speed skating and I guess just maybe the figure dancing and figure skating, like, you know what I mean. A little bit of the slower sports I can't really get myself on, but the Gold Zone's always nice to have on the side.
Yeah, shout out Scott Hansen, he's the GOAT. But yeah, no, I had to wear the American bandana. The hockey game I think's starting in a little bit. We won't have this post until after the hockey game, so hopefully the USA advanced here. The Badger women, they won the Olympic women's gold for the US, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't have much on the Olympics. I haven't seen the bobsled yet, and that's the one I really want to watch. So hopefully that's still going on. But who knows?
I don't even know what events are left or I'm not even sure when this even ends, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I know there's some hockey left, but yeah, I don't know. The ski jump is insane. There's some insane events, but I don't think we don't really have too much on the Olympics. This would be more of a summer Olympics thing we have. I can't wait for the flag football, but yeah, not too much on the Winter Olympics. Let's start off with some NFL. As you can see on Jona's background here, he's got the TJ Watt. He's got let's call it a DK Metcalf jersey. Actually, he's number 4,
Pickens.
But you know what I mean. Yeah, Rip Pickens. But obviously, you're a diehard Steelers fan here. So I wanted to ask you about it right away, but you probably you needed some time to cool off because I don't know if initially you were psyched about it, but I think you feel a little better about it now. But I wanted your personal feelings. How do you feel about the Mike McCarthy hire in Pittsburgh? The Pittsburgh native is now the head coach in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, like you said initially, like I was kind of hoping we were going to go out and get a younger guy just because that's kind of what we've always done. We've had 3 coaches in the last 50, 60 years, something like that, and it's all very successful. So I was just expecting another hire like that. So that's what really threw me off about the McCarthy thing. But then the more like a few days before like the press conference and everything, I fell more into like the Instagram reels and everything and people talking about it and just pointing out the fact that he's developed plenty of quarterbacks. He's an offensive head coach, and it's like that's not something that we've ever really had in Pittsburgh. We've always been a defensive first team, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Not to mention I'm just hoping that my boy Will Howard actually works out because Kenny Pickett ruined my entire life. So
your entire life was ruined because of Pickett? Super
Not
Bowl
my entire
champion
life,
Kenny
but
Pickett.
the last 5 years of my football fandom have been rough, and it's all his fault.
No, he really sent you guys towards a QB carousel. You had what, Rudolph and Duck Hodges and Wilson
Yep.
and Fields and Rodgers. Obviously, last year, obviously Aaron Rodgers used to be paired up with Mike McCarthy down in Green Bay. Do you want Aaron Rodgers to return next year? Do you think? I mean, do you think this McCarthy hire makes that any more likely? How are you feeling about A-Rod, potentially coming back to Pittsburgh if he doesn't retire?
That's the thing with the A-Rod thing. It's like I personally wouldn't mind him back because I know that he's giving Howard so much game and shit, even Mason Rudolph. But
Yeah,
like I think that'll help in their careers because obviously look what it's clearly done for Jordan Love. Not to mention, I mean, there's just other coaches around him like McCarthy that'll help that development. But I'm just also not sure how McCarthy and Rodgers' relationship necessarily ended in football terms. Like it doesn't sound like they hate each other or anything, but I don't necessarily know if they were agreeing on everything towards the end.
there's maybe a little hate towards the end of the tenure, but I'm sure, yeah, they probably
Yeah.
repaired the relationship a bit here. But yeah, I
One, it
don't know.
sounded
As a
like
Steelers fan, do you want Rodgers to come back? I mean,
I think I would just for the sake of I mean I'm obviously grew up in Wisconsin, also cheering for the Packers as my second team, but so it's obviously cool to have a guy like Rodgers on our team and I mean, not to mention, it's like all the guys in the locker room were completely around him all year. Dude was battling through everything. Like everyone was talking about the last like 6 weeks of the year where Herbert's hand was broken. It's like Rodgers was doing the same thing and putting up some crazy numbers at the end of the year, and he wasn't getting the respect he should have. I think.
yeah,
For
why
that,
was everyone
but
talking about Herbert's broken hand but not Rodgers? That is
every
weird.
single
That's a good
time it was
point.
brought up on a broadcast, I was so mad. I was like, all right, why don't you talk about the 42-year-old that's doing the same, or 40-year-old, whatever,
It's not,
however
yeah,
old he
it's
is.
more
But
impressive for Rodgers, honestly.
yeah. So I mean, I hope I kind of hope he comes back just because I'm a fan of him. I think the locker room is behind him, and he'll just shed some more knowledge on Howard to hopefully take over in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, I mean, you think you guys maybe go out and draft a guy, or are you're kind of that confident in Will Howard? You think you guys are going to take a shot on him?
I think before, and especially with this draft, I don't necessarily want one unless did Trinidad get his? Is he playing football in college again, or what's that
He's
dude
kind
doing?
of in a court case. I saw something where they're like, "Oh, Mississippi just did grant him an extra year of eligibility, but there's still courts trying to reverse the decision." I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
So it's
he's
like,
trying to
I
get
mean,
that
if
sixth
somebody
year.
someone like him, like late round, like I mean, maybe, but
Carson
realistically, I think
Beck.
I'd like no. I would realistically like to see Howard on the field before we draft another guy. I'd be fine in going out there in free agency and maybe signing a guy,
Sure.
especially if Rodgers doesn't pan out. Like I don't necessarily want Howard starting this year. That's what would really worry me.
Yeah.
Or so I don't know
Maybe
if
you do
Rodgers
something
doesn't
that
come back,
Steelers have never done and tank. Yeah.
that would terrify me.
That'd be new.
I
That'd
don't.
be new territory.
I don't know if I could handle that, dude. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I could. These last
You
few years were rough enough for me, and we've been 500 every time.
fair enough.
It's like
Fair
I'm
enough.
spoiled. I'm extremely spoiled, but I can't. I mentally don't think I can do it.
Right. But yeah, no, I don't know. We'll obviously see what happens with the quarterback situation, but obviously McCarthy gets a lot of he kind of gets a bad rap, but you look at, in Dallas, he was good, he wasn't elite, but he's getting to the playoffs consistently and obviously, Dak was doing
Offenses were
his
putting up
thing.
numbers too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's move on to don't want to talk too much about the Super Bowl. I do want to ask a dumb question about the Super Bowl. This is probably what ESPN and First Take were talking about the entire day after the Super Bowl. Obviously, Kenneth Walker won the Super Bowl MVP, but the dumb question I had was: is Sam Darnold elite? Is he elite now that he's got a ring?
No, I'm not going with elite. I mean, yeah, he's a great quarterback, and if Rodgers isn't there, would I take him on our team in a snap of a finger? Yeah. I mean, shoot, maybe
Hmm.
even if it's between the two, I'd still do it. But I mean,
Yeah.
the Seahawks have an elite defense. I don't think he's elite. I think he's a great quarterback. Like like for instance, like Purdy, like his first few years, like people were quick to kind of start calling him elite, but it's like, no, I just think they're very good system quarterbacks and good decision makers. And I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, if you can do that for however many years, like I think Purdy is just starting to get into that elite category, and I
sure,
think Darnold maybe has another year or two to prove that. He's
sure.
got to show the consistency.
Yeah, it's almost like the Jalen Hurts thing where he wins Super Bowl MVP last year, and everyone's like, he's elite, he's elite. He's been to two Super Bowls, he won one, and it's like, well, he's a great quarterback, one of the best running quarterbacks in the league, unstoppable from 1 yard line, but maybe not elite. Maybe more of a top 15 guy than a top 5 guy. But yeah, if Darnold keeps this up, yeah, I agree with you. He'll move up into that category. Some other news in the NFL happened recently. The Dolphins kind of started cleaning house. They released both Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb. I don't have too much on Bradley Chubb, but in terms of Tyreek Hill, obviously he had a gruesome injury that he suffered. But I do expect him to play again for sure. So, where do you think Tyreek Hill's going? Where do you see him kind of falling in free agency here?
I don't know. Like I've seen a lot of teams thrown out there. Like people joke about the whole older wide receivers and washed up wide receivers either end up on the Titans or Ravens. And honestly, I kind of laugh at that because I could picture Tyreek in both of those jerseys. But at the
I feel
same
like he'd be a
time,
good fit. Yeah,
yeah.
both places.
And it's like obviously he's not going to get the crazy money that he got from the Dolphins and the whole reason that he went there, but it's like I think he realized that he messed up leaving Kansas City and he's going to want to go somewhere where he can actually compete again. So, I mean, I wouldn't rule out something like Kansas City, especially with Rashid, or is that his name? Or yeah, Rashid Rice.
Rasheed Rice getting in some more
Yeah,
legal trouble here, maybe.
yeah, that boy might be in prison all of next year, so they might just need
It's
Tyreek.
possible. It's possible,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I honestly like all jokes aside, the Titans and Ravens both kind of make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
No, I don't hate it.
otherwise, I could see him going back home to Chiefs Kingdom.
Yeah. No, I don't hate Titans or Ravens there. I think you give Cam Ward or Lamar Jackson a true deep threat. I mean, obviously it'll depend on how he comes back from that injury, but
Hmm.
if he comes back and is 80% of what he has been, he's still, one of the fastest players in the league,
And
even
that's
not at full speed.
the other thing is like I feel like when being in Miami, he definitely learned how to play like alongside another good wide receiver much better because obviously, I mean, when he was on the Chiefs, obviously there was Kelsey there, but then their wide receiver the room was literally just him. So I think now if he goes back to another contender, it'll be a little bit easier for him to plug in rather than in past years he's expecting to get the ball 10, 15 times a game.
Yeah. No, no, that's a great
But
point. Yeah. It'll be interesting. You want him on the Steelers?
I'll take him. I
Steelers
would
have a
absolutely.
great history of having, maybe some receivers with the screw loose. You don't have Tomlin there, but maybe McCarthy, maybe
I was
maybe
gonna say
McCarthy
that's
can.
the other thing with Pittsburgh I'm a little worried about is I don't like every offseason I always went into it. I was like, I know we're not gonna get every guy out there, but everybody loves Tomlin, respects Tomlin, and wants to play for him at some point. And now that he's
Mhm.
not there, I don't know what we have to try to get people to come in for us. So that'll be interesting. But Tyreek, you are more than welcome.
Yeah, you got T.J. Watt, and yeah, we'll see if Rodgers comes back, and there's your hook for Tyreek. You can play with the top 5 quarterback of all time. So yeah, it'll be
Absolutely.
interesting to see what happens there with Tyreek. But something you're uh, to put it, lightly, you're obsessed with the NBA. You're watching it every night. You've got the yesterday you had the quad box going. You're watching as many games as possible. I don't know. We kind of joke about it how I'm watching the college, but you're like no. I gotta watch all these pro games. So you really have some NBA ball knowledge, much more than myself for sure. So I want to talk some NBA here. Starting off with some drama. Obviously, we had All Star Weekend with some interesting alleged news, maybe rumor, maybe fake news, maybe real news. We don't know. dropped like right before the game. It was a new KD burner account. Is this KD's burner? And you just see these screenshots from group chats, and KD's saying some crazy stuff. Do you think that KD burner account on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, you think that was real? I don't know. I don't know.
I so like obviously everyone was reacting to him like being on his phone the entire All-Star game. They were like, all right, that's a confirmation that this is definitely
Yeah.
KD's burner. But it's like at the
Yep.
same time, he's getting tagged hundreds of thousands of times or however much it is. It's like whether or not it is him, it's like his phone is blowing up an insane amount more than he usually is because
Right. That's a
people
good
think they're
point.
onto something again. And like that's where like part of me thinks it's not him because of the fact that like what he was direct messaging these people in like group chats saying like specific things about like like first person acknowledgments of oh this dude's supposed to be our franchise player and he's ass. It's like I just think it's too obvious. So that's why part of me thinks that it's fake, and especially in today's day and age with all the crazy social media and misinformation and all that. But like, I mean, he's done it before, and the name kind of seems fitting for something KD would make. But
Get off my Dickerson.
yeah,
That does sound like a KD burner. No, that's a good point. I haven't heard someone bring up because everyone's like, oh, he's like on his. Everyone's warming up and KD's on his phone. You know, they announce him and he's just got like the 1,000 yard stare. But yeah, maybe he wasn't freaking out because it was his burner, but because he's gotten caught in the past with a burner and he's whether it might not have been him, but he's seen all this stuff come out. He's like, my teammates might not believe me. My teammates might think
yeah,
I was actually talking shit. Like you said, he kind of talking shit about Şengün allegedly, and maybe calling Jabari
yeah.
Parker a
Like
bad word.
it's pretty easy to accuse somebody of something of that like for a second time that they've already been caught for. Like
Right.
especially something as easy as like a Twitter burner that nobody can technically prove unless a player comes out and says, "Oh yeah, that was me." Like,
Right. Right. Well, that was Ant. I think Ant Edwards did get caught on a burner, but yeah, I don't think he had
yeah, well,
quite.
yeah, and accidentally went live on his burner, and then his face was on it for like a few seconds, and he had to end it. It was geeked.
It's like, oh shit, wrong account. Oh no. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I don't. The Ant one didn't go as viral because I don't think they found quite the amount of shit talk. But
Yeah,
it is weird.
that's the
Like,
thing
would
about
KD be in these random group chats just talking to randoms and just talking shit about his
I
teammates, former and
and
current?
if it is him, I do think he's a little crazy for it, but at the same time, it's like KD just loves ball so much that it's like he's willing to talk to anybody and talk shit with anybody. Like he's
Right.
just so bored sitting in his home when he's not at the gym. It's like, what else am I gonna do?
No, but he had I think through all the noise, like that's what Katie thrives in that kind of chaos. What did he do last night? He had a vintage KD game last night. Everyone's just talking shit about him and he's like, "All right, I'm going to hoop." What he dropped 40 points yesterday or something like that?
Um, I don't think it was necessarily anything like that, but it's like fourth quarter, Hornets or
I saw him hit
Rockets
the
were down a little
dagger.
bit, and it's like every single time KD touched the ball in like the last five possessions, it's just a pull up midi over two defenders and just sinking it. It's like
Yeah.
can't can't do anything.
Just blocking out the noise. Yeah, he got me a lot of fantasy points last night, so I know he was hooping for sure. But yeah, it's all speculation. I don't know if we'll ever find out whether or not it was actually real. But I don't know. I don't like him maybe shit talking his own teammates because that's probably creates an awkward situation in the locker room. I did think it was hilarious that he may have called Russell Westbrook a triple double cocaine bear.
I don't hate the
That's
nickname. I really
that
don't.
that actually might stick. Triple double
It's kind of
cocaine bear.
tough.
It is kind of tough. What was the other thing I was thinking about with this burner? I forget. If I remember it, I'll go back to it. But yeah, let's talk some actual basketball. Enough of the drama. How do you like the tournament format? I do think, in terms of, you look at all of the recent All-Star games, it was a noticeable increase in effort. Personally, I do kind of wish it was one game, but I don't know. How do you like what they played 3 games and then they have a championship game?
No, I honestly I thought it was a lot better than obviously we've seen in the past few years. But like you said, the whole 1 game format is definitely a, I think a little bit more fun because it's fun to see the crazy scores, and especially if people actually were trying like they were in this one in a full game, it's like people would love it. But I also will say, like, going back to the 1 game format makes it easier for the teams because they were forcing people into like to be all-stars that did not deserve that shit. Like, you're telling me Pascal Siakam on a team with 12 fucking wins deserves to be an all-star? No chance. At that point, you got to put Michael Porter Jr. in there because Michael Porter Jr.'s numbers are better. They have the same amount
Yeah.
of wins, and it's why didn't Michael Porter Jr. get in? Oh, because he's from the USA. Like, it's I think
Right.
it ruined a few guys' chances at becoming a first-time All-Star when they deserved it. So, in that
Right.
aspect of it, I do think it's kind of shitty. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
when
you
they're
think
doing
maybe they
the
go you think maybe they should go back to the East West format, or they did have the old format where you just pick all the all stars and then you have the 2 captains draft the team. I did kind
I
of
was
like the
gonna say,
choice, but
I think it should just be the draft because what Giannis and LeBron drafted teams like a few years back or whatever. Like, that
right.
was pretty entertaining to even just watch the draft. So it's like, yeah, just get your all stars out of the East, get your all stars out of the West, and then do a draft, whether it's player coaches or like the all star like selected coaches that are coaching the teams that pick them. Although that could get a little biased if a coach of, I mean, the Pistons coach was the coach of one of those teams, and who's to say he doesn't take like Jalen Duren's second overall pick?
Right. Well, yeah, they had like Giannis and LeBron drafting one year, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think you made some good points there. I did remember my KD thing, but I got to put $1. I don't have my wallet, so I'll put a post-it note in the F-bomb jar for your Pascal Siakam content. Please don't
Oops.
bankrupt me. The other KD comment, I just wanted to say, if it's real, I loved this comment. He's like, I miss James Harden, man. He's delusional, but I understand him. That's like the perfect description of James Harden. I love that. But yeah, back to the All-Star weekend. Last thing on the All-Star weekend, really, unless you want to talk Damian Lillard winning it without playing a game, winning the 3-point contest. That was pretty cool. Or
Game
we
time.
talk Shams going 0 for 4 on Team Giannis. That was pretty hilarious. But
He needs
the
to be
dunk
suspended.
what?
Shams needs a suspension
Why does Shams need to be suspended?
for all of that Giannis shit and that terrible trade deadline, telling people not to go to sleep because there's stuff happening, and then the stuff that happens is just like a poop trade of Hornets backup point guards to, like, no. Shams needs a
Yeah.
suspension. I want Woj back. Shams is just
I
out
was
here putting out speculation when Woj would put out fact.
right. Right. Well, Woj is busy being the GM of St. Bonaventure right now, but that's an interesting question. Would if Shams got suspended, would he have to tweet out the news? He's like, breaking, I've been suspended for 2 weeks here. I don't know. I don't know who
I
would
don't think
break
they
that
should
news.
allow him to do that. I think they sit him down in a room, tell him not to bring his phone, tell him he's suspended, and then they tweet it on ESPN.
I love it. I love it. Well, yeah, last thing on the All-Star weekend here. We had a dunk contest. Not really many big names in the dunk contest. We had a fall. Jace Richardson falls and hits his head. One of the worst dunk contests I've ever seen, if I'm being honest here. Is the dunk contest dead, you think?
Oh, 110%.
It's
And
dead?
it's like
Oh,
it's not even like the big name thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like Ja and all these guys, but it's like I genuinely watch basketball and I didn't know who one of the guys in the winner of the dunk contest, I didn't know who that was until that contest started. And like, yeah,
Keyshawn.
maybe it's a spot to like help these guys get their name known, but it's like you see it with Mac McClung. It's like now he's literally only known for the dunk contest, and dude just wants to play meaningful basketball, and nobody's giving him a chance. But
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. No, but yeah, no. What was all that smoke? What was it? Ja and some other Anthony Edwards are tweeting last year like, I'll do the dunk contest if you do it. We need a dunk contest with Ja, Anthony Edwards, Zion. I mean, it would be
See,
cinema.
something like that would be sick, but I don't think it'll ever necessarily happen. I think what they need to do is they got to make it like an all rookie dunk contest, and then
Mm.
just put like a big bag out there for the winner. Because these
Oh,
rookies
that's a
are
good
still
idea.
on their first deal. Yeah, I guess they're coming off of this NIL shit, but it's like you're trying to tell me, you tell this dude he goes out there and competes in a dunk contest for 25, 30 minutes, he can walk away with $1 million. Motherfuckers are gonna be happy to go do that. Like Jace
Yeah.
Richardson, I think he could have done better. Carter Bryant, I think he deserved to be in there. Like he had the legitimately only good dunk of the night. Other than
Yeah.
that, I genuinely have seen better dunks in Arrowhead basketball games from Carter Gilmore. Like,
Shout out Carter Gilmore.
yeah, Carter would have won that dunk contest.
He he's hooping over in
Oh,
I
he's
forget what
big
country.
hooping.
Over in Europe, I think, right?
No, he's
I
in
forget which country.
he's on Den Helder Suns in Amsterdam, I believe.
Oh, that's a fun city. But you
Oh
did
yeah.
drop the MF bomb, so I'll put another
Oh,
post-it note in here.
my bad. My bad. We're
But
done now.
enough of the All-Star weekend. Let's talk about your favorite team. You're a diehard Milwaukee Bucks fan. Bucks go out and get Cam Thomas out of free agency after the Nets cut him, and he's been hooping. Not only has he been hooping, the guy you traded for, Ousmane Dieng, has also been hooping. Are the Bucks back? Are the Bucks back?
I will say this. 2 years ago, we were the oldest team in the NBA, and now our average age is like 24 or 25 with all the moves that we made at the deadline
Huh.
and in the past like year. We actually have like a future now. I think we are absolutely back. I mean, there's no saying if Cam Thomas stays or not, but to be completely honest, I've watched a lot of Cam Thomas in my life when he was on the Nets and even in college because that boy is just absolutely nice. I have never seen him smile once playing basketball until he landed on the Bucks. Like
Really?
not a single time. And even
Huh.
other people on social media are posting this and it's like, dude actually looks happy for once.
Yeah. Yeah, he hit that dagger shot and Giannis was giving him a devious smirk. People were like, "That's Giannis is only giving that look to his wife and Cam Thomas here." So no, I
Not,
I think
not
I
he gave Dame that look a few times.
he gave yeah, when it was Dame time, he hit that buzzer beater. He probably gave him that look. But yeah, I don't know. I personally like I don't know as much ball as you, but I kind of like the Bucks to sneak into a play-in spot here. I think they can get a,
Well,
10-9 seed, something like that.
well, and that's the other thing with the East. It's like obviously the East is nowhere near the West, so it's like if we get a healthy Giannis, start winning some games, get just in the playoffs. No team is going to want to see us now that we have a healthy Giannis. We actually have a good rotation going, and now we've got Cam Thomas to chuck 30 off the bench for us. Like we're a pretty scary team at the moment.
Yeah, no, you think Cam Thomas will be primarily coming off the bench, or do you see him cracking the
Do
starting lineup a little more?
I kind of think he'll end up in the starting lineup, especially if Giannis is out for a little longer, because I think Kevin Porter Jr. and Rollins are much better playmakers
Hmm.
than Cam Thomas. But at the same time, it's like Cam Thomas has been stuck in Brooklyn his entire career, so it's not like he had anybody to pass the ball to. So it's like we don't necessarily know how good or bad of a like he was taking everything contested in Brooklyn. So
Yeah,
it's like I
yeah.
mean, you
He's
never
getting
you
double
never know.
teamed. You're right. Yeah, no, it should be interesting. We'll see what the Bucks are doing. I'm a Lakers fan, but I'll be rooting the heck out of them. I'll be rooting for them. One quick question I have, kind of relating the NBA to college. What do you feel? How do you feel about former NBA players going back to college and playing in college? We've had a couple guys who've been drafted. I think we had a guy who like played 10 NBA games go back to college. I don't know. It's kind of
If
insanity. What do you think about it?
if your name is called on draft night, your college eligibility is null and void. That's
Yeah.
what it should be. If your name is called on
You got
draft
to
night,
take your name out before the draft.
yeah, and that's what the rules like in the past have been. Now NIL's screwing all this shit up, but it's like the one thing I will say, it's like obviously they are now kind of allowing kids to go straight to the G League out of high school because they think they're maybe good enough or just see a bag there and not offer it anymore in NIL. And it's like,
Yeah.
I guess maybe if they do half a season in the G League, never touch an actual NBA court, then I can maybe see that because, I mean, like, let's be honest, all these European kids are playing a professional basketball overseas and they're still able to play college. So it's like, I do think there's an extent to it, but I think if your name is called on draft night and if you play in any NBA game, regular season, whatever,
Yeah.
your college eligibility should be done.
Yeah. No, I think I agree with that. I think I agree.
And
with
if that
completely.
Amari Bailey dude gets to play again, he's gonna murder some kids in college.
Yeah. Seems a little unfair. Seems a little
Because
unfair.
he
but,
actually like made NBA rosters and played in NBA games. It's like, yeah, he wasn't the guy, but it's like, yeah, if I go toss freaking, I don't know, the 15th man on any team on a college team, there's Cinderella story in March Madness. Like, what are we talking about?
yeah. Imagine Fernando Mendoza like goes to the Raiders, plays a couple games. He's like, you know what? I'm going back to Indiana. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's like what? Shador only played half a season, so he can actually go back to college and play football for a few more.
Still has eligibility. Back to the.
like-
They're gonna have to unretire Shador's number so he can.
And
go
obviously,
back.
football and basketball are different, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree with you here. I wanted to talk a little bit about a team that you and me have maybe gotten to a little bit of an argument over because I don't think I was giving them enough respect. Maybe I wasn't thinking enough about the emergence of Con Knipple and some of these other pieces that I haven't watched too much of the Hornets. But can I keep sleeping on the Hornets? I've been sleeping on them a little bit. Yeah, I brought them up. I'm like, oh, they're not even good. But I think I was thinking of the Hornets of the past, and they're kind of a revamped team now. And you're really high on them, right? Should I keep sleeping,
Yeah.
or do I gotta wake up here?
Well, and that's my thing. Like, it depends on how much sleeping or how far you're taking it. Like, am I saying they're going to win an NBA championship this year? No. But am I saying that's a team that you want to try to avoid in the playoffs? Absolutely. Like, if that team, if that offense is going, there is no stopping them. When they've got a point guard like LaMelo that's throwing these crazy passes, not to mention he can go off and score however many points he wants to at any given time. They got Brandon Miller that's capable of doing the same, but he's more of a slasher. And then now you got surrounded by shooters, and especially Con Knipple. He is the truth. He is the truth. He will be. I mean, it's too soon to say, and obviously everybody's already saying it, but it's like he will be one of the best shooters of all time.
Oh wow!
Like I have
praise.
no doubt about that. As long as he stays healthy, like with the way he plays basketball, he will have a role on every single team for the rest of for 25 years.
Wow.
Like that, and he just doesn't miss. Like last night, I saw him shoot 2 threes in a row. The first one in and out. They give the ball right back to him. Second one, he's not missing 2 in a row. Like that,
Right.
If I were the Hornets, I would just feed him the ball every time and let him shoot 40 shots a game, and you will win.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely see the Hornets as a team that, at the very least, they can win the play-in and get to a 7-game series there. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, we'll see if they. I mean, I don't know, the speed of the judicial system is so slow. I don't know if it'll impact them this year, but LaMelo Ball got into a bit of a fender bender, maybe a little of Rashee Rice. Well, not that bad, but maybe a bit of a hit and run. So that could definitely impact them. But as long as they got LaMelo and Con,
he didn't run. I saw more footage this morning. He was sitting in his car, like pulled over after he had hit the person. He had another person in his passenger seat, which I assume was either his buddy or one of his managers or something. And the cops were already there. They took down information and everything. But because he is obviously a high status individual, he had somebody come and pick him up. And he's like, yeah, my manager will handle this like the rest of the way. It's like he did not run away by any means. There were cops there when the cops literally watched him get into another car. So it's like it was not a hit and run
Okay.
situation whatsoever.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, I got
Am
some
I
fake
saying he's
news.
Am I
I
saying
think.
he's a good driver? No. I've seen that boy skirt out of the Hornets parking garage after games. He's definitely not a safe driver, but
He
it
took.
was a hit and run type of situation.
I think he took his brother Jello's song a little too serious. He's been
I
swerve
was
bending that corner, right?
I was
Oh,
gonna say I was thinking about this morning. I was like, how have I not seen a meme of that crash with that song yet?
we gotta make that. That would go viral. That's a good idea. That would go
You just
viral.
gotta plug it
Yeah.
in. You just gotta plug the meme in right after I say that.
How have I not seen that? Yeah, no, that's crazy. But no, I saw some fake news where it's like, yeah, he hit someone with a Hummer and then hopped into a Lamborghini. So it sounded like
Yeah.
a hit and
Well, and
run, but
that's how
he hopped
that's
into
how
the
the media
Lamborghini
is.
like 20
They
minutes later after talking to the cops and everything.
Yeah. And it's like, I
So
mean, he was sitting in his car. There are obviously a bunch of people standing around because they see this
right.
camo, pimped out freaking Tesla Cybertruck. Everybody in Charlotte knows exactly who that is. And
It
then,
could have been someone
apparently,
else's camo wrapped with orange
yeah, okay.
rims
But apparently,
Hummer.
the person
Could
in
have been anyone's.
the person in the Lambo that picked him up was allegedly Brandon Miller. So that's a guy I want on my team. That's a good teammate right there.
What's with
He's
Brandon
always
Miller?
he's always there for his squad. You know.
What's with Brandon Miller and pulling up and picking up teammates who get into some squirrely situations? But that's
He's just a
crazy.
good
But no,
guy.
but yeah, no. If it was just maybe if just a standard crash and he didn't run away, maybe he won't be facing really too much legal trouble or a suspension here. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I got to wake up on the Hornets here. They could be maybe a force to be reckoned with. Could maybe pull off an upset in the playoffs here. We'll see. Let's talk about the playoffs a little bit. You got an NBA Finals pick for me. I picked Thunder over Cavs. I think the two last NBA guys here I had on were Jones and Isaac Shelp. I think they both picked the Thunder. Are you gonna stay with us and pick the Thunder going back to back, or you got a spicier NBA Finals pick for me?
Like obviously the Thunder have been like banged up pretty much all year. Like they haven't had their starting five together, I don't think, a single time on the court. But I don't know, I'm just not
Oh,
as convinced because I mean last year it was new to everybody the way that the Thunder were coming out there and playing with their deep squad and the way that they were playing defense and doing their little hand check shit on defense that they were getting away with. Um so
classic
I think it'll be
Caruso.
interesting because I think teams will have figured that out a lot more. I honestly don't necessarily think they'll make it again.
Oh, interesting. You got a pick for me then? NBA Finals.
Um
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot here.
no, I mean I knew it was coming. I should have thought a little more about it.
He's got the
See, the West is
Pistons,
just so
baby.
tough.
Number one.
Like that's why I'm not convinced on the Pistons yet. They're still a piece or two away.
Sure.
But
Best record in the
I'll
league
go
right now.
I'll go Cavs.
Okay.
Cavs. See, the West is a tough one because it's like I'm just not convinced by the Thunder, but then I think everything else is a toss up.
Right.
I'll
Yeah, it's
go
just kind of who gets hot.
I'll go Cavs Spurs.
Ooh. And the winner?
Cavs. James Harden's getting his first ring.
Yeah. Shout out James Harden. He's delusional,
Dude,
but I understand him.
though I mean, I don't know if you saw last night, but James Harden threw an absolutely disgusting lob to Donovan Mitchell, and the fact that they're doing that already is kind of scary for people.
That is pretty gross for your shooting guard to be throwing lobs to your point guard.
Dude,
That's
it was like an absolute body too. Like it wasn't just a dunk. Like it was a
the
body.
poster.
Yeah.
Do you know who he dunked over?
No, I forget. I didn't even look at him.
But no, just yeah,
It didn't
just
It was
just
murder.
hearing that, just imagining the highlight. Yeah, that does sound like murder. That's pretty crazy. But no, I like obviously I had the Cavs in my final, so I like the pick. It'd be crazy to see Wemby get there this early, but obviously the
I
Spurs have
just
been dominant. They're a deep team.
That's the thing is I just think the Spurs are just as deep and they've got guys that can go off for 30 points every single night, whether it's Vassell, Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Wemby. Like they got
Yeah.
options there.
They're the Thunder stoppers. Maybe they're the ones who knock off the Thunder this year. I like that pick. That'd be a good finals. That'd be interesting.
I think it would be
The
too.
parity in the NBA is back. I guess it's been back since the Warriors stopped winning it. But yeah, love it. It's gonna be a great finish to the NBA season here. Someone who just had a finish to their career, Chris Paul. Kind of a unfortunate way he went out. Wanted to do the retirement tour in LA, and evidently that didn't work out. Evidently he did not want to play in Toronto. I guess Toronto cut him, but he was just kind of. I think he's just kind of done at this point. But he definitely deserves a lot more respect than he's been getting this year. I wanted to ask you: you think there's an argument to be made that Chris Paul is the best point guard of all time, or am I crazy for even suggesting that?
I think that's an absolutely crazy statement to make. I mean,
Okay,
if,
but
if
he's up there, right? He's top five,
I mean,
maybe.
that's the thing is if he's the best of all time at anything, it would be passing. But it's like I don't even on that list. I mean, stat wise, I guess I don't know where those lie. He might be number one for all I know, but I mean, I still passing wise, I feel like I wouldn't put him over West or Magic, and both of them
Sure.
have rings. And then when it
Jer-
comes to the point
Jerry
guard conversation,
West.
oh, does Jerry not?
Oh, did you say Jerry? Oh yeah.
He might
I
not
think actually Jerry. He has a. Well, he has. I think he won Finals MVP one year when his team lost. So no, but yeah, he's the logo.
Yeah,
You're right. That's.
yeah.
I didn't even think about Jerry West.
And then
That's
and
a
then when you
cool
think of
shout.
I mean, just point guards as a whole, it's like I'm not taking Chris Paul over Steph Curry. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like obviously they do two completely different things, but I think in the passing conversation, there's definitely an argument to be had for him being the best. But as a point guard as a whole, I don't think so. I think he cracks
Definitely.
top 10.
Yeah, sure. Top 10 all time for sure, and a first ballot Hall of Famer. So yeah, happy trails to CP3 to Chris Paul there. But yeah, getting back to a little bit of ball theory. This is something that I really enjoy when we have these discussions and we're watching a game. We talk about hoopers and basketball players, and I was a basketball player myself. You were a hooper. You could take over a game. You could you drop 30 in a game. I'm just there to get rebounds and play defense. I'm not a hooper, but I could maybe play basketball in grade school. So to you, what's the difference between a hooper and a basketball player?
I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say that I was a hooper. Like I was a very average player, but it's like if you toss me on a YMCA court with a bunch of guys that don't play competitively anymore, yeah, I might be called that. But like as far as like hooper between like basketball player, it's like hoopers. It just makes it look so easy and so effortless. Not to mention, and the shot that they're taking does not matter. You just believe that thing's going in every time. Where it's like a guy like KD, it's like that is the definition of a hooper. Like even a guy like MPJ, it's like people
Yeah.
got his name Michael Swing the Rock Johnson, but it's like he's 6'10", jumping 20 inches off the ground for a mid-range jump shot. Who's gonna block that other than like Wemby or KD? It's like these
Right.
these guys know they can hit these shots. They're delusional in the head enough to do this stuff, and it looks absolutely clean and effortless every single time they do it.
Yeah. No.
So it's like a guy like Cam Thomas, obviously Kyrie, but I mean, not to say these guys don't put work in, but it's like you can just tell they're gifted with stuff that the rest of us don't have.
Right. Yeah. No, fair enough. It's I guess Hooper is like you don't even need to focus on the fundamentals because you're just better than the guy guarding.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
like
just score at will.
the instincts behind a hooper. It's like they know what you're gonna do before you know what you're gonna do, and they're steps ahead of you. So
Yeah.
or
No,
they
I
just
like it.
know that they're gonna hit that shot in your face. Don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like it. But I want to get to would you like to do a new segment presented by no one?
Run it.
Run it. Okay. So I think
Oh,
sometimes
maybe you can get sponsored by a Mr. McCudden's company.
New segment presented by the Sports Card OG. This is legally binding, Josh. You owe me. Let's call it.
Nope, I
let's call
don't
it
have. I don't have a contract. Nothing's.
Let's
legally
call it
binding.
$100. This is a future employee giving me this sponsorship
Nope,
here.
nope, I did not.
But okay, but so obviously this show is called Clown Questions, and I ask dumb questions because I obviously love talking sports, but I want to make it fun. You know, I try to throw some comedy in there. So I will a lot of times intentionally ask dumb questions, and I think maybe I've become a prisoner to that a little bit because now I'm starting to do it. I have been doing it in real life. You know, I feel like, you know, at least once a day, I'll ask you a dumb question about basketball. And a lot of times the question will be so dumb that you won't even ask me. You'll just give me, you'll like give me the stink eye, you know, you'll mean mug me. Like, you seriously asking this? Like you think this question warrants an answer even. So I wanted to do this new segment. I'm going to call it rapid fire dumb questions. Okay. So I'm going to ask you some dumb questions, rapid fire. And, you know, hopefully you'll answer some of them. Maybe you'll give me a blank stare for some of them if they're, you know, that dumb. So, starting off, rapid fire dumb questions. Would Bronny James Jr. be in the NBA if LeBron wasn't his dad?
The answer is yes, but would he be drafted by the Lakers? Probably not.
He'd be drafted somewhere else, right?
I think he would have been drafted somewhere else, or I mean, shoot, maybe he would have gone undrafted, but he still would have gone somewhere.
Well, no, good point. Yeah, and he hoops in the G League. He just doesn't.
I was gonna say
too much in
him compared to a majority of the G League, he's a step above everybody. So it's like he belongs in the league. Huh. Am I saying he deserves the starting role yet? No, but he's got some stuff to work on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next dumb question. Is Wemby already the best defender in the league?
Yes and no. Currently, yes, but when Giannis is healthy, no.
Oh, okay. I like it. Got to support your guy, the Greek freak there. Okay, next dumb question. Do the Lakers have a chance at a title this year?
If they don't have to play the Thunder, yes.
Ooh, interesting. Hopefully we don't have to play the Spurs either.
Oh, wait, yeah. Spurs would be tough as hell for you guys.
If we can avoid those two and Luka can average 40 points in a series, maybe, essentially.
Yeah. I was going to say, the only way you guys are beating the Spurs is if Ayton goes back to 2020.
Prime Ayton from, the Valley Oop year when they lost to the Bucks, maybe. Okay, next dumb question. Can Jason Tatum play this year? He's got the torn Achilles, right?
I don't know. I think they'd be dumb to rush him back. Because especially with what the Celtics are doing now, they just added Vooch. It's like they're just going to get into the swing of things with him being added to the team and getting rid of some other guards. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's like if they make that push in the playoffs and Tatum's healthy, like he's allegedly been playing some 5-on-5, but this thing happens again, who's to say he plays again? Like it's not something you necessarily rush back. So.
Yeah, you don't want to re-tear that. And
I
I mean, what the Celtics are like the 2 seed right now without Tatum, right?
They're absolutely hooping and shoot. I mean, Jaylen Brown is, as far as I'm concerned, an MVP candidate right now. He's playing the best basketball of his career. So he's just letting that shit fly and gets to run everything, and he's more than capable of doing it.
Yeah, without Tatum, it's kind of his first year as the head honcho, I guess. I mean, he's got the Finals MVP, but yeah, maybe he gets the actual MVP here.
That's where I think some of this stuff will get interesting. It's like, I mean, yeah, maybe those two just want to play together for the rest of their career, but it's like now people can see that Jaylen Brown's also a legitimate number one. So it's like when those contracts are up, or when one of the two contracts are up, who's to say one of them doesn't leave?
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, 2 more rapid fire dumb questions. Is Fernando Mendoza going number one? Can be the number 1 pick?
I mean, yeah, sounds like it. I hope so. If not, I don't know what the Raiders are fucking doing. Oh,
shout out Gino and shout out the F-bomb jar. Nope. I pay for my guests. Auntie Julie This is for her for her charity. I think she doesn't know what charity, but she'll probably start a charity maybe to.
Is I mean, I guess there is a world where maybe they sign a free agent quarterback and don't want to start from scratch and trade that pick because obviously they've got a lot more to build on than just a quarterback. But I I mean, when does NFL free agency start? Isn't that after the draft or is that before?
That's before. I think that probably starts in a couple weeks here, something like that.
Yeah, so it's like
Maybe Rodgers to the Raiders.
I mean, even a guy like Malik Willis. Imagine the Raiders sign Malik Willis and then they trade back a few picks, get a bunch of value, and get a few more spots in the draft. And
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. You see how stuff like that works all the time, and it could be interesting.
I actually like that. I mean, I love Malik Willis. He's best backup in the league. I mean, I think he deserves a starting job, but I would love if the Packers somehow held on to him. But no, he deserves a shot elsewhere. So I doesn't seem too likely the Packers will have him next year. Okay, last rapid fire dumb question: does Mac McClung win that dunk contest?
Dude, he won it by posting dunks on Instagram.
You're right, he did win it.
Like nobody cares about this. I forgot I forgot his name again. The guy who won it.
Keyshawn Johnson, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I hadn't heard of him until the contest.
Mac won. He wasn't in it, and he won.
He did win. No, yeah. If you actually want to see, it was a bad dunk contest. If you want to see a good dunk contest, go to Mac McClung's Instagram. He posted the 4 dunks he would have done, and
dude,
they were all 50s. All of them.
Even Bleacher Report, they did like a little YouTube video with him where they had him recreate like 4 dunks from like past dunks. So he did like the blow out the candle on a cupcake dunk. He did the bounce the ball off the backboard
Gerald
off
Green.
of Nash's head, lob. Like he did some of the craziest dunks just effortlessly, like adding more onto it. And it's like, why can't
He was
other
recreating some of the famous ones.
Yeah, and it's like he was doing this on first and second tries when he hasn't practiced these things before. It's like, I feel bad for the guy because I know he doesn't want to be like known as a dunker and just wants a spot on a team. And unfortunately, when he's gotten those call ups, he hasn't been hitting his threes, so that's pretty much why. But we need him back.
Yeah, someone give Mac McClung a chance here. Okay, I only got one more question for you, and thank you again for pulling up to the pod. I really appreciate it. You educating me on the NBA and other things. Do you like any of these nicknames? I've been trying. There's a bunch of NBA nicknames. I've been trying to get to stick. And, they may have started on TikTok, but I do think a lot of them are good, and I don't know if any of them have stuck yet. So let me know. Do you like any of these nicknames? We'll go through. I got a handful here. The onomatopoeia for Bam Adebayo.
No.
But like Bam, that's like the onomatopoeia is like boom or I forget the grammatical term for it. You don't like that?
I will never call him that.
Bam. Okay. What about for Jaren Jackson Jr., the alliteration?
I mean, I'm dyslexic, so I'll pass on that one too.
That's another grammar one. It's 3 J's. It's his name is literally an alliteration. Okay, you don't like that one either. How about the ad hominem fallacy for Jalen Green?
I just don't even understand that one.
Me neither. Okay, we'll move on. What about the abnormality for Shaden Sharp?
I mean, the nickname is like good, but Shaden Sharp's.
You don't think he's that abnormal?
Yeah, like I don't think he deserves it.
You think there's a couple more abnormal players in the league? Okay, this one is one of my favorites for Santi Aldama, the trolley problem. Come on, that's good. Right?
That one's fine. That one's fine.
Okay, we'll take that one. All right, Cade Cunningham. I actually think he already has some nicknames that did stick, but the paradox.
That one's I like that one.
Okay. For Dyson Daniels, I think he won Depoy last year, if I have that correct. The Great Barrier Thief.
I mean,
it's just kind of copying. It's just kind of copying Grand Theft Alvarado a little bit, I guess.
I mean, he's from.
Okay.
I mean, the Hawks guy's from Australia, so that one is fair.
Oh, true. Okay, fair. What about the quantum entanglement for Isaiah Collier?
I just don't. I don't get that one either. That does not make sense to me.
Yeah, some of these don't make sense. Okay, these last two I hadn't really been thinking about much, but these are more recent ones. Someone at Super Bowl Media Day tried to give JSN a new nickname. What about for Jackson Smith and Jigba, the Emerald City Route Artist?
That's disgusting
No on
in
that
a
one?
bad way. No, that's awful.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, Mac McClung. Mac McClung also got a new one, the Windy City Dunk Machine.
He's not even from Chicago.
But I think he's on Chicago right now, right?
Yeah, he's been on our G League for like half a year. He's been on fucking 8 other teams too.
Fair. Yeah, I guess you'd have to change it because he'd probably go to another team, I suppose. All right.
He's from
well, at least
he's from like West Virginia, dude.
the West Virginia dunk machine. No, that doesn't have the same ring to it. But hey, I'm glad you're warming up to them. A couple of them you didn't hate, so let's try to get these to stick, okay? And I'll do one more post-it note in the F-bomb jar. You did good. You didn't
Not
drop
bad.
too many F-bombs. I thought because I little broed you were bound to drop 10 in a row, and I would have been fucked. Oh no, okay, that's one for me. But yeah, that's all the dumb questions I got for you today, Jonna, and thank you again for pulling up. I really appreciate it.
The Sirski.
Alrighty, well, yeah, I guess we'll call that a wrap on the pod.
All right. Thank you for having me, boss man.
Cut.